OFPG Voices is brought to you by the following sponsors. Board&Dice creates games where strategy and family fun collide. Some of their latest releases are La Granja Deluxe Master Set, Books of Time, Barcelona, and Nucleum. Their ally program lends support to underrepresented voices in the hobby. Pandasaurus Games prides themselves on innovative, groundbreaking designs with art that pushes the boundaries of creative expression. Some of their latest releases are Sea Salt and Paper, Mind Up, Nacho Pile, The Fox Experiment, and Emerge, just to name a few. To check out their full catalog of games, accessories, and more, visit Pandasaurusgames.com. Hi everybody, I'm Starla.
I'm Mick.
And we are
Our Fan-Based Games. Voices, boom, the point. The point, yeah.
Welcome back everybody to another week of OFPG Voices.
Yes.
And we've got some games to talk about today.
Yeah, but in a category that Starla don't like. It's bad, family.
Well,
it's bad.
I like some of these type of games.
Some.
But the vast majority, the answer is no.
But I love them. I love the vast
Yes.
majority. Yes.
So the topic this week
Yes.
is dungeon crawler games.
Yes.
And we have three awesome contributors coming
we
to
do.
you. Aaron's going to kick it off with the teach.
Yes.
He's going to teach us the game.
Yes.
And right after that, Daniel's going to do his bilingual thing. He's going to do a game review. And then after that, Ruel is going to give us a top 5.
Okay. I'm happy. I'm happy. Yes.
I
I'm
can't
happy
believe
for all of them.
I can't believe
yeah.
he found 5 dungeon crawler games that was. I just can't believe he found top 5. But we'll see. We'll see.
That is a shame, family. A shame. But I'm excited. But first, family, let's hear from Starla and her Good Humans segment. Yeah.
Hello, everybody. I'm back with another segment of Good Humans. Now, some of you may be wondering, why is OFPG so focused on good humans? Because we know the value of having good humans in our world. I mean, I can't even imagine a world where there weren't good people. People who are empathetic and compassionate, and people who have an understanding for others. People who are willing to put themselves in another person's shoes just for a moment to understand their walk of life. If we don't have people like that in our world, this world is going to be a horrible place to live in, and it's not a world where I want to be. So we added Good Humans to our Voices segment because Voices is a show where we want to bring people together from all walks of life, people who come together at the board game table because of their love for board games, and because they just like playing with people in a diverse environment. And that's where Good Humans come in. Good humans believe in diversity, inclusion, understanding others, and know that everybody, regardless of their walk of life, bring value to the world we live in. Good humans are valuable people, and that's why we want to support that message and bring people together who believe that good humans are necessary and they are valuable and they want to be good humans themselves. Now, we don't want to beat a dead horse, as they say, when you just keep saying this thing over and over and over. But sometimes, people do things that they don't know they're doing something bad. They don't know that, this is going to offend or hurt somebody. So in these messages about good humans, we want to how to address those things so people will know. Because sometimes you do things because you don't know. But if you know, then you can do something better. And we hope that through all of these messages, the different guest contributors and things that I've said over the years and things that I'll say in the future can help people analyze life from a different perspective. Now, as board gamers, we're going to go to conventions and game days and game nights and go to people's houses to play games. And you may encounter people, and I hope you encounter people, from different walks of life. And when you do so, I hope that you will choose to be a good human to that person, to treat them with respect and kindness and empathy, to welcome them to your gaming table, because everyone deserves to be able to play games in a safe environment where they feel welcome and understood. And this is why we talk about good humans. I just want you guys to know we appreciate each and every one of you taking the time to listen to these messages and to listen to our show and who follow our show, because we know if you're following OFPG and OFPG Voices, you must be a good human. So share these messages with your friends and family and others in the gaming hobby and outside of the hobby, because we want you to take these messages not just to your game days and in the hobby, but take these messages out into the world, because the world needs more good humans. Now, as we always say here at OFPG Voices, our goal is to make this world a better place, one board gamer at a time.
Hey, I'm Aaron from GameEnthus.com. And while I often do misunderstand the assignment completely, other times I like to put a little bit of a twist on the assignment. While the theme for this video is supposed to be dungeon crawling, I thought about what happens before you actually crawl through a dungeon. You guessed it, you learn how to crawl through a dungeon. And you might learn how to crawl through a dungeon in a school, or an academy, or a dungeon academy. Dungeon Academy came out in 2019, can be played from 1 to 6 players, was designed by Julian Alain, and has art from Regis Torres. It's also published by the OP in the US. Many tasks and occupations require training, schooling, etc. Crawling through a dungeon should be no different. Let me show you how it plays. This is what a 2-player setup in Dungeon Academy might look like. There are a total of 10 hero cards. They have varying amounts of magic and health, and each has their own different ability or benefit, if you will. So for the 2 I chose the pirate, who has a nice amount of health and magic. I can keep it in frame. The pirate can mark a room in all 4 of their dungeons, and if they go through that room, they gain a point. It's pretty cool. And the conjurer has a little more magic, not as much health, but they're able to get a point for each large blue enemy that they defeat. This large blue enemy, which is also known as the Reaper. The large red enemies are called the Colossuses. The Colossi. You get the idea. And we have a red blob and a blue ghost. There's 158 energy tokens. They're all double-sided, so one side is for magic, the other side is for health. You have a labyrinth die, which they recommend you actually play with this a little bit later. They recommend that you don't play with it your first game, and this just can create barriers and things like that to make it a little more challenging. And you also have a boss die, which has different bosses on it, but also has treasure. So risk reward and a key, things like that. The key just means you have to get the key before you can get out of your dungeon. There's also 6 exit cards because the game is playable from 1 to 6 players. So on a 2-player game, you only really need 2. The player who finishes their dungeon first will grab the first card, and every other player in order will grab cards as they finish. Exit cards dictate who gets first dibs on loot. And then I'll show you the backs of these. These are the loot cards. So this is a blob hunter degree. So it means during the next level, you gain a point for each red blob you defeat. A decent number of these, just 20 of these actually. So this one is purse. Just means at the end of the game, you get a point. Yeah, some of these you keep. I believe the ones with the lightning bolt means you have to use them right away, or once you do, they're gone. So like the giant great red potion, you discard this and then you would get 2 health. Some of them have like a little recycling kind of symbol on them, so you can use them once per level, and they'll kind of stay out with you, which is pretty cool. Everybody has their own sheet. This is the teacher, so this is what you kind of use to show like where you are and walking through the dungeon once you've completed it. And then most importantly, you have 16 base dice, which is what your dungeon will be comprised of. And there's reapers and blobs. So there's health on them, there's enemies on them, and you are trying to find your way through as quickly as possible. So the game can be played through different types of difficulty. I mean, one which is using the labyrinth and boss dice, and the other is the exam link. It's an academy, so it's a dungeon crawler where you're sort of practicing on how you get through a dungeon, hence the teacher token like walking you through. So easy is 1 minute, moderate is 45 seconds, and hard is 30 seconds. Okay, player 1 and player 2, the pirate and the conjurer, are now loaded up and ready to go into the dungeon. The dungeon does need to be prepared, so you can kind of take them, shuffle them up, pour them into the roof, shake it around a bit, and then you take the top, put it on, and just flip it over, and voila, a delicious dungeon. Okay, so the pirate at the start of the game has marked 4 boxes that if they go through, they're going to earn an extra point, and the conjurer is just going to get extra glory for defeating Reapers. So now the time is up. Everybody went and carved a path through. So everybody followed the rules. Somebody doubled back on a place they already went to, because you can't do that. And everybody did exit. Interesting how they both went the opposite way, but that's fine. So now you take the teacher and you would walk through everybody's dungeon to see kind of what they did. So you get points for every monster that you defeat. Let's start off here on the pirate side. I'm going to gain a potion, but I'm already full, so I really don't get anything. Come down here and I get hurt by a monster. So I'm going to put that here. Come over here, and it took 2 magic to defeat one of these, to defeat the Grim Reaper. I come up here, which is the room that I marked before. All right, so Reaper there, and come up here and got hit again by a red blob. Oh boy. Okay, then, man. All right, then we're going to lose 2 more because they fought a Colossus. Ooh, very brave. And then we fought a Colossus, come down here and gain a little bit of the potion back right there. Over this way, gain 1 health. You can lose all your health as long as you don't lose more health than you have. You're okay. And then come up here and another Grim Reaper. And the pirate kind of barely made it out. So the pirate would earn 5 points because you get 1 point for each monster that you defeat. And then I had 1 health and 1 magic remaining. So yeah, barely kind of made it through that. All right, so for the conjurer started here and took on a Grim Reaper. So that goes back to the supply. And then come down here. They're not going to gain a health because they already have full health. So I'm going to come this way, which means they're going to gain a potion. So now they have 4 again. They're going to fight another Grim Reaper. So they're going to lose 2 more potions. Oops. Didn't mean to turn that. Let's put that back. Another Grim Reaper. Come up here. Went up. And they're going to fight. We're going to fight a red blob. And wait a minute. Oh, okay, fought the red blob. Came back this way. And now they're going to gain another potion. They get a potion back. And then they fought another red blob. So after all that's done, what I should have done over here, but I'll do them at the same time, are the quests. So these at the bottom of the sheet are the quests. You can do 1 quest per dungeon, potentially per round. So this gives you an additional point for every red type, additional point for every blue type, additional point for every red or blue of small, additional point for every red or blue that's large. Just get 3 points right now for defeating 2 large blue, 1 large red. I guess they'll just take 2 points for defeating the large. On the 3 subsequent dungeon crawls, you can't redo the one you already did. Whoever finished first would have grabbed the 1. Let's say player 1 grabbed the 1, and then player 2 grabbed the 2. So that means you put out the number of loot cards for the number of players. So Whoever grabbed the 1 would grab first, so on and so forth. So we have the Ranger's Trophy. So during the next level, if you exit first, you gain 2 points. And useless item. This item has no use whatsoever. Yay. So you would do sort of a similar thing for all the other rounds. And whoever has the most points, clearly would win the game. If there's a tie, whoever escaped the last dungeon first would break the tie. So that was how to play Dungeon Academy. You are now ready to tackle any dungeon that life puts in your way. If things don't really go your way in said dungeon, we are not liable. Anyway, thank you for watching. Take care, stay safe, and be blessed.
Hola amigos, mi nombre es Daniel y bienvenidos a otro video aquí en Our Family Plays Games Voices. En este episodio de OFPG Voices vamos a estar hablando sobre Dungeon Crawlers. Hay un mar de Dungeon Crawlers en este que es el hobby de los juegos de mesa. Y por eso en esta ocasión les traigo uno que siento yo que es bastante único. Este de aquí es Deep Rock Galactic. En este video voy a darles una reseña, voy a explicar, darles una idea general en cómo funciona el juego y después voy a compartir con ustedes mi opinión acerca de este. Así que vamos a empezar. Rock and Stone, brothers. Para comenzar una partida de Deep Rock Galactic vas a tener que elegir la misión en la que quieres jugar. Este de aquí, el Mission Book, te muestra un número de misiones con las que tú puedes interactuar y meterte al mundo de Deep Rock Galactic. Estas misiones te van a mostrar el cómo empiezan las cosas en el tablero. También te va a indicar cuál es el objetivo de esa misión que estás jugando. Más aparte te va a mostrar las criaturas que empiezan en el tablero y con las que vas a estar peleando en el futuro. Ya que hayas hecho eso, vas a tener que elegir uno de los 4 personajes. Estos personajes que vienen en Deep Rock Galactic funcionan y operan de maneras distintas. Uno de los personajes se enfoca a moverse pues más rápido en el tablero, otro personaje se enfoca a pelear más con las criaturas y cada uno funciona de una manera diferente en base a el estilo que tú quieras jugar. Deep Rock Galactic se juega de una manera bastante sencilla. En tu turno vas a seguir una secuencia, la cual luce de esta manera. Al principio de tu turno tienes 3 acciones que puedes tomar en el tablero. Después de eso nos movemos a lo que es la fase de evento. Cuando terminas, el siguiente turno pasa a la siguiente persona. La forma en la que ganas es completando el objetivo de la misión que estás jugando. Cuando pasa eso, automáticamente ganas en Deep Rock Galactic. O puede ser de que pierdas. Puedes perder de 2 maneras en este juego. Una de esas es cuando los jugadores en el tablero están completamente muertos y ya nadie puede tomar acciones. O la otra es cuando acaba el tiempo que tienes para completar el objetivo de esa misión. La primera acción que puedes tomar en el tablero es moverte. Tienes la oportunidad de moverte 3 espacios y todos estos espacios tienen que estar conectados. La segunda acción que puedes tomar es atacar a las criaturas. Cada uno de los enanos cuenta con diferentes armas. Estas armas funcionan dependiendo si es tu arma principal o tu arma secundaria. Cada una de estas utiliza diferentes municiones. Estas armas que estás utilizando te marcan los dados que vas a girar para poder conectar con el ataque. Otra de las acciones que puedes tomar es utilizar tu herramienta de pico. Aquí es cuando entra este dado blanco. Puedes utilizar esta herramienta de diferentes formas. La primera es defenderte pegándole a las criaturas. La siguiente es girar el dado para poder recolectar estos diferentes minerales que están alrededor del tablero. La otra opción que puedes usar es cuando estás junto a estas rocas gigantes que están en tu camino, las puedes destruir. Y puedes también utilizar tu herramienta de hacha para poder crear espacios en el tablero y poder seguir escarbando dentro de esta caverna. Otra de las acciones que puedes tomar es ayudar a uno de tus compañeros. Puedes estar junto a esa persona y puedes intercambiar cosas. También si esa persona está pues muerta en el tablero, puedes utilizar una de tus acciones para que esa persona pueda revivir y regresar al juego. La última acción que puedes tomar es llamar a tu base para que te manden un suministro de diferentes municiones y cosas que vas a necesitar en el juego. La puedes poner donde tú quieras en el tablero, estratégicamente hablando, para que todos los enanos lleguen ahí y puedan recolectar las cosas que trae caja de suministro. Ya que hayas terminado con todas tus acciones, nos movemos a lo que es la fase de eventos. El jugador va a tomar una de estas cartas y va a realizar lo que dice cada una de estas cartas. Por lo general son nuevas criaturas que aparecen en el tablero, o las criaturas que ya están en el tablero se van a mover para poder atacar a los enanos que están en el juego. Amigos, hay muchísimos detalles que me estoy saltando en la explicación de Deep Rock Galactic, pero espero que explicando un poquito darles una idea general de cómo funciona el juego. Ahora vamos a hablar de lo que me gusta de este juego. Deep Rock Galactic tiene esta temática que es bastante diferente. Uno está familiarizado con jugar con estas criaturas de fantasía que son los enanos, pero esta es la primera vez que juego con enanos que están en el espacio. Como les digo, no tengo ninguna relación con lo que es el videojuego de Deep Rock Galactic, entonces esto para mí se me hace bastante nuevo. Otra de las razones por las que disfruto el juego es de que nunca sabes qué va a pasar en el tablero. Por lo regular, cuando juegas un Dungeon Crawler ya tienes como que lo que es el mapa del tablero ya puesto en la mesa. Entonces ya estás viendo todo lo que pueda haber. Aquí es completamente diferente, ya que como tienes la habilidad de utilizar tu herramienta de pico para mover y crear espacios nuevos en el tablero, pues sí cambia bastante la dinámica. Otra de las cosas que disfruto mucho es de que este es uno de los juegos que la verdad cuenta con esta referencia para cuando te pones a pelear con las diferentes criaturas que aparecen. Esta de aquí te ayuda a entender y poder recordar la forma en la que puedes atacar a las diferentes criaturas, cuáles son sus debilidades, más aparte cuáles son las habilidades de cada una de estas. Y la verdad es que viene de una forma bastante grande para que puedas pasar y que a todos los jugadores y que todos los jugadores puedan ver. También disfruto muchísimo los juegos que me permiten girar los dados, y este juego tiene diferentes dados, más aparte los estás girando en todo momento. Una de las cosas que sí quiero mencionar es que pues al girar dados cuentas con mucha suerte en el juego, y si es algo que no te gusta, pues voy a entender el por qué no te atraería el jugar Deep Rock Galactic. De todos modos, es un juego que recomiendo. Como les digo, es bastante único, se siente diferente dentro de este mar de Dungeon Crawlers que hay en el mundo de los juegos de mesa. Y pues sin lugar a duda, la presencia que tiene este juego en la mesa es fantástica. Estoy ahorita en el proceso de pintar mis miniaturas porque la verdad disfruto muchísimo este juego, y pues quiero que todavía se vea mejor para que la experiencia de las partidas de Deep Rock Galactic suban. Eso ha sido todo por este video, amigos, y ojalá tengan la oportunidad de poder jugar Deep Rock Galactic. Nos estamos viendo en el siguiente episodio de OFPG Voices. Adiós.
Hi OFPG family, I'm Ruel Gaviola, and today we're taking a look at my top 5 dungeon crawlers. Now, dungeon crawl games are ones where you're going to take a character or characters and dive into a dungeon and explore and hopefully level up your equipment and characters, because you need to be stronger for those awaiting monsters and whatnot. Hopefully along the way you'll loot some treasure and grab some cool items to go with you on your journey, and hopefully you'll survive the adventure. So let's take a look at the top 5 that I personally really enjoy, starting off with number 5. Okay, at number 5 on my list is Arcadia Quest. This is a game by Eric Lang, released in 2014 from Cool Mini Internet, or CMON, or Common, whatever you want to call him. This is a wonderful game, and it was the first one that I ever played that was a dungeon crawler. In Arcadia Quest, you are going to be controlling 3 heroes, and it's a non-cooperative game, which is sort of cool. It's a little different than other dungeon crawl games where you typically work cooperatively. Here, though, you have your characters, you're going to activate them, move, and hopefully complete quests and missions. Now, The combat is dice-based, but you do have cards that can mitigate those dice. Once again, you're going to be leveling up equipment, getting some cool items, and battling monsters and other characters. As you complete the quest, you're going to level up and you're going to move on in the campaign. There are 11 missions. You're going to play 6 of them in a campaign. So there's a lot of replayability because you got different characters, monsters, and also scenarios. It's really, really fun. It was super approachable to me because I love the chibi style art. It's very, very attractive and a lot of fun. That's why it's my number 5 on the list, Arcadia Quest. Okay, moving right along to number 4, it is Star Wars Imperial Assault. Now, there was no way this game would not make this list. First of all, it's a re-implementation of Descent, Journeys into the Dark. And that is, for a lot of people, the classic modern dungeon crawl. Star Wars Imperial Assault, though, is set in the Star Wars universe. The galaxy far, far away. You know it's going to be on this list because I'm a major Star Wars geek. Now, I love the original trilogy movies, and that's what really drew me to this game, the theme. It is set in a post-Star Wars world, right after the original Star Wars, aka Episode 4, and you get to play characters that are based on like Wookiees and scoundrels and whatnot. You will also be interacting with those classic Star Wars characters, which I absolutely love. Now, this one is a one versus many. So one player is going to be the Overlord, right? Which is basically running the Empire characters. And then the rest of the players are going to cooperatively play as the Rebel Scum. So you're trying to complete missions again. And there are 2 different modes. You can play in Skirmish, which is its own self-contained mission. Or you can play the campaign mode, which is about 12 or so games that you fully fleshed out story and campaign. So I, of course, was going to include this in the list. I absolutely love Star Wars, and this one does a great job of capturing the theme of that galaxy far, far away. And, you know, I played it, but I haven't gotten it to the table lately because it can be tough to find players that want to do the Overlord position or run the Empire. Thankfully, though, there's an app now where the app runs the Empire, and you and your friends can play the Rebel characters. I love that. So this one's getting my table as soon as I download that app. It is Star Wars Imperial Assault. Number 3 on my list of dungeon crawlers is Zombicide Black Plague. Now, the original Zombicide I found a little clunky, and it took a little while to get into it. I love the theme. I love, you know, zombie movies and comics and everything else. But for some reason, the original game did not take with me. However, that changed with Zombicide Black Plague. This is a fantasy medieval setting. So you've got, you know, characters like, you know, fighters, dwarves, knights, paladins, and you have magic, which is really cool. So as you go along, you will find those weapons and spell books and whatnot that are going to allow you to fend off those increasing hordes. And that's what's really cool about this game. Just like any good zombie game or book or comic or graphic novel or TV show, those zombies don't stop coming. The hordes are coming. You need to complete your missions and get the heck out of Dodge. Basically, you're going to move, search, fight. The zombies will activate, and then hopefully you'll complete your goal and get out of there before more zombies overrun you. The goals are typically, hey, find a certain item and get to a certain location on the map, and hopefully we won't get bitten. It's a terrific game. I would recommend this over the original Zombicide. Now, I have not played this new edition of Zombicide, so I've heard that sort of cleaned up the problems that I had in the first one, but you know, this is a great launch point. And also, if you prefer the fantasy theme, this is definitely the one for you. So, Zombicide Black Plague. Okay, friends, number 2 on my list of dungeon crawlers is Clank Catacombs. Yes, the original Clank has been redone in a fun new format, which I feel is more along the lines of a true dungeon crawl. So, Clank Catacombs, what it does is takes the original push your luck deck building game with a static board and replaces that board with tiles. So it is more of a true dungeon crawl. You never know what's around the corner because you're revealing those tiles one at a time. And so now the paths that you used to see in the original game, you don't see those until it's your turn and things are changing all the time. I love this version of the game. It's actually my favorite of the Clank series now, because you're still using deck building for movement and for combat, and you still have that push your luck of, hey, how far do I want to delve into the dungeon to get those valuable treasures, and then you need to get the heck out of there. And if you create too much clank, too much noise, then that dragon is going to burn you to a crisp. It's a great version of the game. I highly recommend it. And for Dungeon Crawl fans, I believe it is a must play. That is why it's my number 2 on the list, Clank Catacombs. Okay, number 1 on the list of dungeon crawlers is Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion. Now, this is the smaller version of Gloomhaven, and it's the one I always recommend to folks, because Gloomhaven itself, that is the dungeon crawler, right? But it can be intimidating to new players, casual players, gamers who have been in the hobby for years, because it's a huge box, it's a big time commitment, it is a steeper price tag, but it can be overwhelming. So I always recommend Jaws of the Lion because it's way more approachable and accessible, and it's going to teach you everything you need to know about Gloomhaven. And then after the experience you've had with Jaws of the Lion, if it's your jam, hey, continue on to Gloomhaven, and then Frosthaven and all the other havens out there. Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion, what I love the most about this is it's taken the system of Gloomhaven and put it in a package that is super easy to get into. I mean, just looking at the map book itself, instead of tiles and trying to figure out what goes where, it's just a spiral bound notebook. You open it up and it's got beautiful art, and it's got really easy way to implement the system, and you're going to learn how to play this game after a few missions. You play through all the different missions, you can go on to Gloomhaven. It's so perfect way. It is the perfect way to get into the game, and it's an easier way to learn, I think. At least for me, it was, where it gives me the smaller chunks of the game, and then, hey, by the end of it, I know all about initiative. I know all about, hey, there are no dice in this game. It's all about card-based combat, and you're going to learn things like talking to other players like, I want to go fast, I want to go slow, and you'll know what that means by the end of Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion, and you can bring that to your, hopefully, your Gloomhaven game in the future. Okay, that's going to do it for our list of top 5 dungeon crawlers. Be sure to comment below with your favorite dungeon crawlers. And until next time, I'll see you later here on OFPG Voices. Bye, everybody.
All right, another great episode.
Yes.
First, I want to say thanks to our awesome sponsors, Board&Dice
Yes.
and Pandasaurus Games.
Check out the games, family. Check out the catalog. See what they got. They got good stuff now. Good
Yes.
stuff. Yeah.
Now let's delve into what our contributors talked about this week.
Yes.
Now, Aaron brought up a game. As you know, I'm not into dungeon crawler
Yes.
games per se.
Yes.
And he had a game I'm not familiar with.
Me either. I'm not familiar with
Dungeon Academy.
but I
Yeah.
want to check it out. I've heard some good things about it, and I want to check that out because I haven't done that yet. And it's kind of hard for me, family, because you got somebody over here, my partner in crime, that do not want to do dungeon crawls all the time. But, I do want to check it out, though.
Yes,
I do.
yes. And then Daniel came through with another dungeon crawler game.
Now, Deep Rock Galactic, I know it because it's a video game. It's a video game, very popular video game. I haven't played it, but it's very similar to kind of Helldivers 2 that I'm playing now.
Okay.
And because the crew from the video game Deep Rock Galactic wants to do something with Helldivers 2 because they're kind of similar. So, but I do want to check out the board game though.
Okay. So
that does look cool to me.
It's a video game that's now a board game.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
right.
I do.
And then last but not least, Ruel came through with top 5.
Top 5. Now,
he started off with Arcadia Quest.
Yes, I haven't played that. I know a lot about it. Now, the next one, that is my jam. Yes. Star Wars Imperial Assault. I love that game.
You talk about it a lot.
I love it. I have a lot for it. I love that game. I do. That because I'm a Star Wars fan, so that is Star Wars to me. Yes.
And then he touched on Zombicide, the Black Plague.
Yes, we have Zombicide. Just we had the second edition. We have that one of just a basic game. But Black Plague, I haven't played that one. But Zombicide is really popular. It's a really popular game.
Well, then he talked about one that actually I've played.
Actually, one that you played. Yes.
Clank Catacomb.
Yes, and that is kind of a dungeon.
Well, see, I didn't really know it was a dungeon crawler. I just like Clank.
Yeah, they count. It's a dungeon
Yeah,
crawler.
well,
I think all of the Clanks are dungeon crawlers because you're going underneath in the dungeon
Because
and fighting.
You're stealing stuff from the poor.
But you're in a dungeon. You're in
Well,
there. Catacombs, dungeon,
true, that's
cave. You there?
Well, I love Clank, so
She loves
there you
Clank,
go.
so we're
there's
good.
a
We all love
there's
Clank.
A dungeon crawler.
Yes, that's a
series
dungeon
that I
crawler
like.
that Starla has done. Yes, yes, we are so happy. Happy day,
And
happy
then
day.
the last one,
That's me too.
Gloomhaven.
Yes, Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion. Love that game. Love
Yeah.
this Gloomhaven anything.
Yes, I know.
So yes, I'm good with that one. Yes.
So our contributors once again brought it home. They covered some great games. Hopefully you guys will go check out these games they've talked about if you don't have them already.
Yes. Now, Starla, what about merch? Tell me about the merch, Starla.
Well, if you're looking for a shirt or a mug or a pillow, with OFPG or OFPG Voices, check us out on Spring. And then we have an exclusive shirt for OFPG on BGG online store. So be sure to check us out there and get a shirt or get something to support the family.
Now, family, just want to let you know, just subscribe. We want you to subscribe. Tell other people to subscribe to keep us growing. We want this RPG family to grow. Yes, and also like our videos.
Yes,
Definitely tell other
like.
people and spread the word. Spread it. Yes. Now, our next episode will be on June 5th, and the topic, here we go, space-themed games.
Yes.
Yes, we love some space-themed games. We do. Now, Starla, where can they find OFPG and OFPG Voices? Let me know.
Well, if you're looking for Our Family Plays Games,
Yes.
or OFPG Voices,
Yes.
you can find us on Facebook, Instagram,
Yep.
Twitter,
Yep.
right here on YouTube,
Right here.
on our website, and TikTok.
TikTok. Yeah, family, thank you so much for coming out and checking out these beautiful voices. Please support our sponsors. Please do that. But there's one thing, family, we want you to always know around the world and even in the crazy dungeon. We love you. Bye now.
Everybody.